So kind of what we're up to today is I ran down to Central McGowan, had to pick up a welding tank, and we picked up this from Midway Iron and Metal in St. Cloud. It's 11 gauge steel, mild steel, and we are going to be building a ballast box today for the 1025R. I already got started on it, but yeah, we need to get it done because this thing does need some ballast weight for sure. I'm going to build a metal frame for this horizontal leg tank so that way we can slide forks underneath it and lift it in and out of the truck. Obviously it probably ain't going to lift it while it's loaded or full, but if I have a little bit of fluid in there, I think we'll be good to go. I do know that it's kind of dangerous to pick those things up when they're full of fluid because that fluid rocks back and forth obviously and transfers the weight forward and back. Could create some issues, so you always want to be careful when you're lifting tanks with fluid in them, especially with a smaller, lighter machine. It's best if they have little to none in them. So we won't be lifting anything crazy with it. So I'm going to get this welding tank here hooked up, and then this is the base, the platform for the new ballast box. So I'm just going to end up building some walls up here. Boom, 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 just a box. And then I have it set up. I have a hole drilled in here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you could slide a hitch in there so to act as a receiver. So that way I can move trailers and stuff around with the 3-point hitch. That'll be awesome. But yeah, it's time to get started. I think you guys are pretty well up to speed. If you follow along with us, we greatly appreciate it. If you would, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment down below, and hit that subscribe as well. So that'd be great. Let's get into it, guys. Oh, it's still a wee bit chilly out. I don't know what the temp is today, but it's not super nice out. So a little tip when you're welding, or when you're setting your tank up to weld, I always like to keep my meter here so when I have the welder faced like this that I can see my flow meter here, because that's something you really want to learn to keep an eye on. This is a C25 tank. I want to make sure we get this good and tight. Okay, we're gonna back off the regulator. I'm gonna slowly open this tank. I'm gonna open it all the way up. Welder on. And we're gonna turn this in until we get, I don't know, I like to run around 20 with this setup here. Nice and easy. Alright, got that all set up. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to cut our parts. So I got to get the dimensions off of this, and then we'll get started. Something else I forgot to share with you guys earlier is when the snow got so wet and heavy and nasty, the snow piles are really hard packed like cement. We actually ended up tearing the running board partially off. Still haven't quite figured out what happened here yet. Oh my, looks like she might have broke off. I'm gonna have to figure something out for this. Ouch. He's got it bungee corded up just to get me through the plow run. And then you guys can't really see it right now, but there's a slight dent here from a snowbank. Came in, got the tail light, put a dent right here, and we also tore off fender flare on this side. Super unfortunate, but yeah, the next step, we're gonna cut some metal out here. I'm gonna be busy pulling dents out of the truck. If you guys have a good recommendation for a dent puller, where to get one, let me know. All right, so this is a Diablo Steel Demon blade, and it's on this Performax saw, which I got from Menards. It's a super cheap saw, so I don't really care if it gets burnt up, but it works on steel, stainless. I've cut everything with this. This thing will eat this like it's butter. It'll go right through it like butter. It's incredible. I'll show you guys here in a little bit. So if you ever need to cut steel or whatever, this is really the best way to go, I find. Super clean. It'll leave a super clean edge, and I've had this blade for a really long time. It's cut a lot of metal. Well, here's my 3-point ballast box for the John Deere 1025R. Built it a tiny bit bigger than I would have liked, but overall, very happy with it. So I'm going to walk you through kind of how it's built here. So these pins go on the lift arm. I might need to take a tiny bit off. This thing is pretty wide. If I would have done one thing different, I would have made it a tiny bit narrower. Here, we'll give you dimensions on it here quick, in case any of you are curious. So I'm just shy of 28 inches. I believe the base is, the thing ain't perfectly rectangular, but it's not bad. So just shy of 28 inches. And what are we tall? Just shy of 20 and a half from bottom to top. The box itself is just shy of 18 inches. And then I could have made this a touch shorter as well. 16 inches. Ran up some, this is 1.5" angle iron. It's 11 gauge, I believe. The steel is 11 gauge. I have some angle iron that I just stitch welded up in the top here. Made 2 bad holes here, but these other holes have nuts tacked underneath, so I can put, I made it a cover. So you can actually take some little nub 3/8 bolts and put some lock washers and washers on the top here. And then once you put your sand in the bottom of it, it'll be super sweet. It'll be covered up. So it's welded completely inside here. I thickened up the wall here a little bit, so it's a total of 1/4 inch. And then I put a stiffener bar in across. This thing is probably way overkill, but it is what it is. If you overbuild them, it's better because they're just going to be heavier anyways, more metal. So this top hole here is a 3/4 hole, I believe, and this one was a 7/8 pin. So we drilled all those out. Everything's drilled by hand. Right here, boom, got some big bits there. But yeah, you can just kind of see how it's done. Nothing too crazy. Welded continuously all the way through. Every seam is welded. The bottom plate is 3/16, and like I said, the rest of it's 1/8 or 11 gauge or whatever. So just wanted to give you guys some ideas. I did run some silicone up because I did not weld this outside completely, so I just ran some silicone in there just to kind of seal everything up good. It's welded inside. I probably would weld it on the outside again if I was to do it over, but I think the silicone's gonna work fine in there just to kind of keep the water out of the joint. And then that's paintable too, so I'll just paint this thing up. Looks like it's gonna be pretty nice, and I think I kind of built it a little bit bigger because I know down the road that we will be getting a bigger tractor, so hopefully this will work on the next one. Anywho, we're gonna get to painting and I'll show you the finished product when it's all done. can already tell you that this 240 pounds plus whatever the box weighs, I'd guess it's total around 400 pounds on there. Makes a big difference. It's not perfect. I started out with a pretty nice base on it. As I worked towards the top, making full welds on this thing, it kind of twisted things a little bit. This was like the first thing that I've ever built like this, so I don't know, it was kind of cool. I'm usually just welding tube and pipe. That's kind of where my background is in welding. I even added this little bonus feature so you could slip a hitch in the back, put a pin underneath, and she's good to go. Ice is just flying out of these trees. It's crazy windy today. Oof. I gotta go move this trailer to the backyard. I went ice fishing the other day, so I had to take that out. I'm gonna get her gone, get her to the backyard. I'm gonna try out that new trailer hitch on the back of the 1025R.